the thing that bothers me, and I understand the money part, I mean, I truly understand the money part, but for me, it's so many professionals have come to the board and asked the board to keep the program intact as it is. And even the email today that we received from Kathy, it's pretty plain that these people feel so strongly this program should be as it is and not broken up, that I don't know, in good conscience, I cannot support this. I just think it's not the right thing to do. Yes, we need to find, budget adjustments, but I just don't think that this is the right thing for us to do. I'm disappointed on the way the whole thing was set up and portrayed. These folks were given letters before, the board was even taking any action on it. There's boxes sent to the schools, and it's very disappointing for me to have these things take place. And to me, it's just not the right thing to do. It's not the best interest of these children. And, in my forum group, there was a group of parents that stated that they were referred by U of M doctors to Perrinville because of the program and what it does for these students. And I just think that people move to our community because of it. There's just too many factors that, for $200,000, that we are just leaving too much on the table. I know you all have a right to your own opinions on what you feel, but I just don't think it's the right thing to do. I really don't. There's just too many professionals that have come to us and asked us not to do this. And I'm not a professional educator by any means, and I'll never claim to be. But when somebody comes to me asking me not to do something because they feel so strongly that it shouldn't be done, and these are employees that are still working for the district, they're sticking their necks out as far as I'm concerned. And that to me speaks volumes. And I just don't think it's the right thing for us to do.
Mrs. Bonifield.
Then I think if we're talking about not closing Perrinville to save this $200,000, I think then are we going to ask Dr. Leopold to find another $200,000? And how are we going to explain to those parents that we're closing their children's programs and not just moving their kids' programs? We're going to close some programs. And how are we, where are you going to find the money if we think that we're not going to hurt the district, or if there's not going to be some kind of fallout? What choice do you see on our plates that is not going to critically impact some of our students? Closing programs. I can't see that closing programs is less impactful on students than moving programs. And who is going to make the telephone call to the parents of those other kids when we tell them their MACAT program is closed, or their ACAT program is closed, or we're taking away the AIB program, or our kids can't be in marching band anymore? How about if we tell the kids that they can't have cheerleading anymore?
Let's do it, because education first.
Yeah.
Let's call the question.
But you know what? I'm not going to debate right now. I just feel that we need a line item budget. We need to have access to it. We've got contracts out there that I'm sure we could get adjustments on.
Mr.
So, and I would venture to say, although I'm very careful about not putting words in other people's mouths, I bet it bothers the heck out of every single person who's sitting at this table right now.
I'm sure it does.
All of us, not just one of us. It bothers all of us. If we understand the money part, we've had to understand the last $17 million while you and I sat on the board through almost every one of those decisions. If we hadn't done that, we'd be a deficit school district with an emergency financial manager right now. That's how dire this is. I do not want to close a Perrinville building. I didn't want to take kindergarten parapros out. I'm embarrassed to say to our social studies teachers that, yes, you have textbooks that are so outdated that the students laugh at them. I'm really, really bothered by the fact that we had to take learning specialists out. I hate the fact that we had to eliminate reading recovery. And the list goes on and on. And if we did not move on every decision that bothered us, get off the board or hire an emergency financial manager, that's where we are. If we want to keep our district afloat through all of this, we have to make decisions. And no matter what way we cut it, they bother us. They bother the heck out of me. I agree with you. But we are responsible for 15,000 students and their welfare. And it's been said many times, and very rightly so, doctors, social workers, educators tell parents with students with special needs, get to Livonia into the Perrinville program. And it's very important to note that we are doing this in order to keep the Perrinville program. The number one request, at least that I received in our gathering together at Perrinville a few weeks ago and via email, is find a way to keep ASD and ECP together. That is number one. Find a way. There must be a way. There must be a better way. Find it. We're finding it. They are not sending students to the Perrinville building. They're sending students to the Perrinville program. And we are finding a way to keep those programs together. I wish that I could keep it all intact. I wish I could keep the last 5 to 10 years intact. But we don't have that option because we are not given the funding from the state, and it's illegal for us to raise it in any other way. We have to make do for our 15,000 students with the allowance that we get from Lansing. And if we've been asked over and over and over, find a way to keep those two programs together, this keeps those two programs together.